My respects.
Are you going to do what we talked about?
I don't think so.
Hello. Hello. Girl.
God bless you, sir.
What's new around here?
Nothing much, lad. At least I haven't heard about anything.
You seem like a reasonably educated man, Crazel.
Where are you going with this?
Well, I reckon you know some interesting and useful things. If you share them with me, it'll make it easier to endure all that bullshit you spew.
I'm glad you know what you're getting yourself into. Are you interested in the theory of light, kinetics, or vacuums?
That's a bit too fast for me. What I need is the basics.
I have no time for the basics.
There'll be nothing nice left here at this
I
rate.
apologise.
Don't worry. When's the last time you saw the bailiff get anything done on time? That tree will still be here long after we're gone.
This horse wasn't cheap, that's for sure.
Quick!
Whoa, whoa!
May God give you health, sir.
God be with you, sir.
I'm Henry, Miller Crazel's new apprentice. He sent me to search for a niter pit, and said you might be able to help me with that.
Of course I will. I'm Bonnie. Nice to meet you.
Bonnie? It's not a name I hear often.
It's not the name I was baptized with. In our craft, it ain't a good idea to tell people your real name. That's why we use nicknames. What should we call you?
Henry's fine.
Well, that's not very creative. You know what? I'll come up with a nickname for you myself when I get to know you better. Did you bring me something from the mill?
Actually, Crazel said you'd appreciate some herbs.
He's right there. Do you have some for me?
I'm sorry. I've got nothing for you.
Did you hear what happened at the big wind?
At the mill?
Yeah, the place by the Jeharovka stream.
What then? Has the water sprite been up to his mischief again?
You could say that. Careful!
What was that noise? Woodcutters?
Greetings. Hey, you're all bloody.
I'm Henry, Miller Crazel's new apprentice. He sent me to search for a niter pit, and said you might be able to help me with that.
Of course I will. I'm Bonnie. Nice to meet you.
Bonnie? It's not a name I hear often.
It's not the name I was baptized with. In our craft, it ain't a good idea to tell people your real name. That's why we use nicknames. What should we call you?
The Wolf of Skalitz.
Well, that's not very creative. You know what? I'll come up with a nickname for you myself when I get to know you better. Did you bring me something from the mill?
Actually, Crazel said you'd appreciate some herbs.
He's right there. Do you have some for me?
I've got something here.
My word, that's exactly what I need. The ingredients for the magic ritual.
What kind of magic ritual?
The kind where Zenek finally gets some sense into his head and stops making stupid beginner's mistakes. Just so you know, that mess with the author of Hermes Trismegistos would never have happened to me. Not me. While we're on the subject of rituals, did Crazel tell you about the golem?
He did.
And what do you think of it?
I'm curious to see what a golem made of flour will look like, but I'm mostly curious to see if Crazel will really be able to breathe life into it with the help of saltpeter.
I'm more worried that as soon as it comes to life, it'll slay us all with one blow. So, if by some chance it looks like something's going wrong, you won't see my heels for dust. And I suggest you do the same. But that's enough of that. We're not going to stand here talking about flower golems when we've barely just met. I'd like to chat with you too, Henry. Get to know you a bit. But if you're in a hurry to find Crazel's saltpeter, I won't keep you.
No. I have plenty of time. But where to start?
You know what? I'll start. When they caught Zenek in Troskovitz, I was scared out of my mind that they'd catch me and clap me in the stocks. I had to hide out here for a while, so I haven't had anyone to talk to. Life in the lair isn't all fun and games. Zenek and all the other mill knuckleheads were never worth much as company. So I'm glad the millers finally found a normal hand for once. You've got a beautiful dog. What's his name?
Mutt.
What a cute fella. How did you find each other?
Among the wolves. Not a word of a lie. That is, I lost him, and then found him again in a wolf pack.
Well, I'll be... That's what I call an interesting past. I used to have a dog, but I don't anymore.
He died.
He started getting these lumps all over his body. He stopped eating. Just slept all the time. And then... Well, what's done is done. And what about you? What kind of family are you from? Also, thieves?
No. Pa was a blacksmith. I inherited something from him, I hope.
Oh, really? Would you teach me how to make, maybe, barrel hoops?
Those are pretty hard. Wouldn't you rather start with, maybe nails?
Sure. I'm pretty quick to learn and patient. That is, with one exception. When Crazel starts spouting off his alchemy theories, I'd rather run for the hills. What do you think of the old miller, anyway?
He seems awfully mystical. He has lots of experience, like as if he's lived for hundreds of years.
It's his beard that does that. Don't let it fool you. Thanks for talking to me. It really is good to have someone to pour my heart out to. But now, about that saltpeter. Before you came, and before Zenek fucked up with the manuscript, We collected saltpeter all over the place, mainly in styes. It has to be scraped from the walls. Horrible work, time-consuming and annoying. I'm not going to lie to you. We also looked in a few chests, just in case. You know. Anyhow, now all the styes in the region are scraped clean and we're sitting pretty on a nice barrel of saltpeter.
Barrel is quite a lot.
For the whole Trotsky region, aye. Unfortunately, Krazel said we need at least 6 times as much.
6 times? Will one saltpeter pit be enough?
I reckon so. There should be as much as Krazel needs for his masterwork. If you're looking for it, you ought to know how saltpeter forms. Do you have any idea?
Certainly. You take a damp wall, like in a sty, you let the water evaporate from it, and you get this salty bloom.
That's right. But like I told you, all the sty walls in the region are scraped clean and we can't wait. Don't forget that saltpeter crystals are formed in places where something is rotting. It can be shit or carcasses. Well, a saltpeter pit is actually nothing more than a mass grave. The best natural saltpeter maker.
Krazel said saltpeter is a vessel for life energy. I get it that it's left over from dead bodies, but how do you get it from shit?
God's mysterious ways. You know how it is.
And he also wanted me to taste it. That's nonsense, though, isn't it?
Unfortunately, it isn't. Otherwise, you won't know if it's saltpeter or some other shit. It feels kind of cold on the tongue.
Jesus. And you know where to look for such a pit full of carcasses, do you?
Not exactly, but I have an idea. Times are evil and there's plenty of corpses. A person who's digging holes and throwing dead bodies into them and doesn't even know he's got a gold... a saltpeter mine.
The local gravedigger?
Exactly. And the one we have here in the region is also the knacker.
Ah, the gravedigger Ignatius. I've already met him. He lives outside Troskowitz in the direction of Apollonia, right?
Aye, that's him.
So I'm in for a walk to the cemetery.
Seems like it. Too bad you couldn't have walked around the county with us before. It was fun. And pretty useful experience. I learned a lot during that time, and I won't keep it to myself. I'd be happy to teach you something, if you want.
I'll keep that in mind.
That old gravedigger will be suspicious, so... I'd bring him some kind of offering. He's always dragging those carcasses, so I'm sure he'd appreciate a slab of fresh meat from Troskowitz butcher.
Good idea.
He lives a short way from the cemetery, so at least the meat won't go bad on the way. Lots of luck, the Wolf of Scarlets.
Why do you work for the miller?
Because he pays well, and don't care how much coin I make on the side.
You mean by stealing?
And he doesn't ask any stupid questions.
What did you do before?
I got by any way I could. Believe it or not, I started in a convent.
You? A nun? Well, why not? I was in the cloisters myself for a while.
Oh well, different people have different fates. But we all ended up here anyway, in the armpit of the world.
What do you think about Krazel?
You're another one of those that don't know if they should love him or hate him, eh? Krazel is his own man. Once you learn to get along with him, you can't help but admire him a bit. But sometimes, he's unbearable as soon as he opens his mouth. Greetings, sir.
What is it, Mutt? Sit and bark. Everything all right, eh? Ja! Ja! Quick! Quick!
Now, what did you...
Go! Quick! Go! Whoa! Oh! Look what I have for you. Ka! Go!
Oh,
You about the greatest evil and danger on God's earth, men's cruelty and wickedness. You may say that God created Adam and all men in his image. can't be all that bad. But that's just what they want you to think. They're the ones and if only lying was the worst of it. But you know full well they steal and kill and rape poor defenseless women. They're protect your innocence. Run to the nunnery and
Quick! Quick! Ka! Ka! Ka!
go to hell. We're under attack.
In God's name!
I'm here, fellas!
Sacra fingers!
Damn it.
I'm all yours!
In God's name!
No, you don't! Watch out for that beast!
Lost! Shit! Attack! Everyone, get over here! No, you don't!
Quick! Quick! Go! Ka! Go!
This horse must have cost...
Quick!
Take a look at this scoundrel. A pervert and a disgusting man in all ways. Gather round. Come take a look. This shameless wretch would like to expose himself to women and surrender himself. He would die in out-of-the-way places like meadows.
Oh, you mutt.
Pond, for he knew full well that his disgraceful behavior would earn him a punch on the nose. But he was just as afraid of women
Excellent. It was a pleasure doing business with you, sir.
alone as his victims.
Word about the price.
Very well. Finally, a reasonable sum. Thank you, sir, and come again.
God's law and the law of the land apply to everyone.
My respects.
Oh, you gooch.
It happens. Just watch where you're going next time.
Hey?
What are you doing here?
Good day to you.
What?
now.
Good day, sir.
Show me your wares.
Let's talk about the price.
Very well. Very well, then. I was glad to be of help to you, good sir.
Word about the price.
Well, I suppose we can try. Aye, you'll convince me with that price. Thank you, sir. And come again. I hope you find what you're looking for next time, good sir. You shouldn't be here. That's it. Go now.
You're always welcome here, no.
Have you heard any news?
There's something new every day. Death roams these parts, with me following close behind.
Do you know what happened with the bodies from near the pond? Tankard, Conrad.
Who?
Well, you wouldn't know their names. A couple of soldiers that fell there. Where are they buried?
Oh, I remember them. They all ended up in a pit together right by the cemetery. All I got was a yellow waffen rock for the effort. Getting them out of there was a grind. They was well fed. You could tell right away they was from better parts than this here county.
Yeah, you're right. They're a long way from home.
Not to worry. Earth is earth, wherever it is.
Are you and the herb woman related? You both look, well, really old.
We're not related. We both got some years behind us, and we're both unclean in our own ways. That's all we have in common. Different herb women came to me from time to time for hangman's nooses or nails from the gallows. What they do with them is their own business. I'm just a trader. But Bozhena ain't like the others. She's an honest herb woman who only heals with herbs and prayers. Do you know why they chased her out of town?
I don't.
Well, I'm not the one who should be telling you, but I'll tell you one thing. There's a place called Limbus Puerorum. Make sure you never send anyone there. Not even by accident. And that's all I'll say on the matter.
I'll keep it in mind. I had to dabble in your trade a little bit. Buried a young man from the nomad camp who got beaten to death by woodcutters.
I know. Don't think I didn't try to get him for myself. He wasn't baptized, so I couldn't bury him in the cemetery. But he deserved a good place in the ground nonetheless. It gave me a terrible itch. I can't stand unfinished work. The damned woodcutters left him there like a solstice decoration.
I buried him in his favorite place.
You did well. Don't hesitate to bury any other corpses you find left unburied. You have my blessing. I can tell right away if a fella understands an honest trade.
Ignatius, I'm gonna need your help.
Of course. How many are there? Where do you want to bury them? Shall we grind the teeth up, or do you want to take them away in your purse?
None of that. I have a different, slightly unusual request. Bonnie from Lower Semine sent me. We're looking for a saltpeter pit.
From Lower Semine? What pit?
A saltpeter pit.
I ain't never heard of nothing like that. What's it supposed to be? A pit to hell?
Nah, it's actually just a pit full of carcasses. These white crystals form on the walls of it, and that's exactly what we're after.
Ah, now I get it. You should have said you're looking for the pit I throw carcasses into. What's all this about Salty Peter? I'm going to go there anyway, so I'll take you there.
Really? That was easier than I thought.
Not even a chicken scratches in the dirt without hope of reward, though. You'll help me with something first. I have some collections from some Sletigo farmsteads, and I'd be a fool if I didn't use a helping hand. At least one day I can take it a bit easy.
You want me to help you with your grave-digging business?
Why not? You look like a strong fella. You'll be a good helper.
Oh, dragging carcasses around isn't exactly a respectable job. But so be it. I'll help you with it. What else can I do?
Grave digging is a job like any other. Sooner or later, everyone needs our services. And if it wasn't for us knackers, folk would have to deal with their animal carcasses themselves.
Of course. I understand. I'm just a little worried about what people will say about me when they see me with you. I wouldn't like to lose the honor I've earned as squire to a nobleman.
Don't worry about what people say. They'll only strip you of your honor if you let them. So what then? Shall we take a nice little ride with my boys Snorter and Dragonfly here? Nice and early, at daybreak.
Let's get this over with then.
Didn't you understand me? We ain't going nowhere now. Like I said, be here at daybreak. That's between night and day. Do you understand?
I understand. I'll come at dawn.
God be with you. Keep the peace and we'll stay friends.
God be with you. I'd like to discuss the price.
Huh. Very well.
You see? I knew we'd make a deal. You, sir. And come again!
Huh? Nothing to your liking, sir?
I'd like to do something about that price.
Huh. Very well.
You see? I knew we'd make a deal. You, sir. And come again!
Willkommen.
I'd like to do something about that price.
Was soll's? Warum nicht? Why? You'll convince me with that price? Okay. Das war ein gutes Geschäft, Mann.
Quick! Go! Go! Oh, Ja! Ja! Quick! Go!
Cha!
Whoa! Whoa!
I'd like to do something about that price.
Well, I suppose we can try. Very well, then. I was glad to be of help to you, sir.
Quick! Go!
Cha!
Go! Go! Quick!
You're always welcome here, noble sir.
I've got that sheep gut for you.
I hope you killed the poor creature before you pulled it out of its rectum. Or did you chicken out and buy it somewhere? Not that I care. Wait here a while and I'll make them strings for you. You have a kind master, eh? Mutt?
Cha! Go! Go!
Cha!
Go!
Cha! Cha!
Go! Whoa! Whoa! Up! Up!
Hey, to hell with your meter and stanzas. It's about getting to the point.
You foul Bulgarian.
I'm no Bulgarian.
I've got those strings for you.
Ah, how the hills shall ring out in gladness to their glorious sound.
We'll fix the loot and head off for Kuttenberg, fame and fortune. All praise to you, friend.
Right. I hope that's all you need.
If only, Henry, old pal. It's just there's still one little fuck-up. Friend, we have a problem. The innkeeper doesn't want us to leave. Says Kuttenberg isn't the place for us.
Can you imagine? He who never set foot outside his village wants to block 2 free souls in their path to fame.
And fortune.
And recognition.
And under the skirts of town maidens.
Beast. In short, dear friend, you must have a word with him. You're worldly wise. He's sure to listen more to you than to us.
Hang on. How can the innkeeper keep you from going anywhere?
Well, you know, he's incapable of grasping that the artistic soul needs to fly as free as a bird.
Aye, he's an
Ignoramus.
Besides, we owe him a bit of coin.
Well, why don't you pay him back then?
That's just it. We'd love to. We could always scrape together a few groschen.
But it's not coin he's after. He wants us to work off our debt.
He lets you two drink on credit? How so?
Because he's a damn crook.
He knows we can't pay back our debt outright, but he counts every wretched sip we take and adds it to the burden we have to shoulder.
I'll have a word with him, and we'll see what happens.
That's the spirit.
Let's drink to that!
I hear Michael and George have run up a small debt with you.
A small debt? They owe me a whole heap of work, my friend. A month ago, I told them to dig a hole for shit behind the barn, and I'm still waiting. There's a privy there, but now it's full. The shit has nowhere to go but downhill. It's flowing down to the bathhouse. The other day, they promised that if I poured them a drink, they'd haul sacks of chaff to the barn. They boozed for free all night and swathed down sausages till they were as greasy as a cart axle. But that chaff is still out in the damp and rain.
So, haul some sacks and empty the latrine. And then the debt is paid?
Aye, but I'll bet my boots that even if those two miraculously got off their arses, they'd still manage to rack up another debt in no time.
What is it Michael and George have to do to pay off their debt?
Haul sacks of chaff to the wagon and empty the overflowing latrines. Once that's done, we'll be quits.
Good day.
And oh...
Fellas, about those jobs you're supposed to do.
We? But, dear friend, we're artists.
Why don't you do it yourselves?
What? Surely you can't be serious.
You expect artists to grab hold of a shovel? But that's going against nature. We have to compose new songs now. Being a poet is hard work, you know.
Oh, well, I suppose I'll have to do it myself.
I knew you'd never leave us stuck.
You won't be sorry. We'll pay you back in gold for every single turd. Hey, where's that beer?
God bless.
Greetings.
Damn. This is throwing my back out. From my neck to my arse. At least it's done. Oh, good grief. What on earth are they eating to shit this out? I should have ditched those songsters ages ago.
Christ, you stink to high heaven! God bless you, sir.
The jobs have been done. Like you wanted.
But I gather from the stench you did it all by yourself, and those two dolts didn't lift a finger again, did they? Fuck! How is that supposed to drum the idleness out of them?
It won't. But what can you do?
Nothing. The job's done, so the debt is settled, I suppose. Michael and George can go to the devil for all I care.
Thanks. I'm sure they'll be delighted.
Sooner or later, someone will wring their necks anyway. Not everyone will be as soft on them as me.
I've squared things with the innkeeper. Your debt's been settled.
Our saviour! We knew you'd support our artistic souls and save our mortal bodies.
May your name live in glory!
Your glory shall be sealed by the song we wrote for you.
Oh my god, what have you done?
Fuck yeah! For you and about you, our hero!
Definitely not going to sing those words, right?
Which words?
You know exactly what
I'm
words.
just joking. Right, you ready?
Can't tune the strings.
You've got one job. Good? Right.
When it seems you're out of luck, there's just one man who gives a fuck. A friend who'll never leave you stuck. Now who can that friend be? Well,
Ludiak?
Henry, our hero Henry, the fellow who helps his fellow man. Henry, reliable Henry, he gets the job done the best he can. Oh, oh, oh.
Watch out, here we go.
Oh, oh.
I can't hear you in the back.
When you want to string your lute and trumpet with your back drum, who will pull a sheep gut out through the creature's rectum? Oh, Henry, we thank you, Henry, the fellow who helps his fellow man. His fellow man! Henry, let's drink to Henry, he gets the job done the best he can. Yeah!
So, how did you like it?
Weren't we fantastic? I tell you, that loot really gave it a punch.
I'd say we were incomparable. Chi la dura la vince. You can't keep a good man down. The world awaits us.
Awaits us with open arms.
Absolutely great. Amazing. Breathtaking.
Ha ha! I knew it!
If our first song is so successful, just imagine how our next one will be received.
We'll conquer the fucking world!
Dear Enrico, thank you for everything. It's time for us to shake the dust of this God-forsaken place off our feet and seek our fortune in the big wide world.
Kuttenberg, here we come!
New life, here we come.
Now, hold your horses, fellas. What about my reward for everything I've done for you?
We've already paid you back, my friend.
Didn't you hear the ode we wrote about you?
Look, that's all very nice. But what about some coin?
Please, Henry, don't be so base. No gold in the world can match the luster of our velvet voices.
Just wait till that song about you makes the rounds. You'll be so famous you'll have to fend off the women with a pitchfork.
Besides, you've gained the most valuable thing in all the world. Friends.
Farewell, friend. And thanks for everything.
How can I help you?
I need to take a load off.
Certainly. We're open.
I need a hot bath and my clothing cleaned.
Excellent. Pay up and we can get started.
Let's talk about the price.
Certainly. No problem. You certainly won't regret it. My baths are first class.
My water's nearly cold, but I think we got you
It
all
happens.
cleaned up.
Just watch where you're going next time.
Ka! Ka! Go! Ka! Ka! Quick! Ka! 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 Oh, whoa.
Oh, you poop. You haven't said a single word this whole trip.
Ka!
Did you hear that the king...
Whoa, whoa.
Girl, you ready? Come on, girlie. Are you going night? You ready to go to sleep? You ready to go to sleep? You ready to go to sleep? Hmm? You ready to go to sleep? You don't sleep with me in my bed no more. You don't sleep with me in my bed no more. Why not? Huh? Why don't you sleep in my bed? Hmm? Why don't you sleep in my bed? Come on. Oh, you better! Oh, you better. Yeah, you better. I know. Alright. Night, guys. Ah.
Whoa!
Nem kellett volna beleütnöd az orrodat.
That looks like a... Christ, woo! Watch out with that horse.
Whoa! Go! Go! Quick! I believe in God, the Father Almighty, creator of heaven and earth, and in Jesus Christ, his only Son, our Lord, who was conceived by the Holy Spirit and born of the Virgin Mary. He suffered under Pontius Pilate, was crucified, died, and was buried. He descended into hell. On the third day, he rose again. He ascended into heaven and is seated at the right hand of God the Father Almighty. He will come again to judge the living and the dead. I believe in the Holy Spirit, the Holy Catholic Church, the communion of saints, the forgiveness of sins, the resurrection of the body, and life everlasting. Amen.
Here, mutt.
Quick! 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 Not your day, eh?
My, what a beautiful...
Quick! Go!
May God give you health.
I don't know if I'm completely ready for this, but let's get going.
Didn't you understand me? We ain't going nowhere now. Like I said, be here at daybreak. That's between night and day. Do you understand?
I don't know if I'm completely ready for this, but let's get going.
Didn't you understand me? We ain't going nowhere now. Like I said, be here at daybreak. That's between night and day. Do you understand?
Ka! Go! Ka!
Whoa! Whoa!
Ka! Ka! Go! Ka! 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 Ka!
Stop fooling around. Stop fooling around. Decent men are already asleep at this hour. My God, that looks like
Ka! Quick! Ka! Quick! Go!
Greetings, sir.
I don't know if I'm completely ready for this. But let's get going.
The dew is still on the leaves. The roads are clear. You don't need your horse. I'll stable him here. It'll be heaven for him. In any case, heaven's always close here. Hop on the wagon and Snorter and Dragonfly here will take care of us. Did I bring that stuff for Visor? Meat? Bane? Aesop? Got it all. Good. We've got a long journey ahead of us, so get yourself comfortable so your arse won't hurt. So, you say you're from Lower Samine, eh?
Well, you could say that. I help the miller with whatever I can. I got a place to sleep there. Soon I'll be able to call the miller uncle.
I remember Crazel when he was still a wee lad. Even then he was a great big smart-ass. When I buried his parents, he was traipsing somewhere through the world. Maybe you heard what they say about Lower Samine round these parts. Crazel don't sell short measure, not that. He looks out for his reputation, but his helpers have been seen often in the villages after dark, looking fishy. Or during the day, in the pillories. Don't that Bonnie of yours belong to that gang too?
Unfortunately, she does. Crazel ordered Bonnie and her accomplice Zinnek to scrape saltpeter off the walls of the sties. And when they had a chance to loiter about in the yards here in the region, well, they made good use of the opportunity to line their purses.
Ay, ay, ay. What have I gotten myself into in my twilight years? Lower Samine's a thorn in the side for a lot of folk. Some on account of the competition. Some is just rubbed up the wrong way by that Crazel. Either way, all they need's the slightest excuse to grab their pitchforks. Go and grab the miller and shove his face right in his own millstone. Yeah! Yeah! Whoa, boys, whoa! Come on, come on! Are you deaf? Oh, they're acting stubborn again. Now listen, Henry. Here on the left side, you'll see the ruins of a cottage that's been abandoned for a few years.
It looks mysterious. What treasures might be hidden there?
You'll soon see. I have a trap set inside the cottage. I wanted to lure a wolf into it, but that didn't work out. There's a deer rotting there unnecessarily. So hop in there and bring it to the wagon. Finally. At least we're not blocking the road too much.
Good dog, Max. Show me.
Look what I have for you.
Oh, Jesus, what a stench. Better quickly throw it in a sack and take it back to the wagon.
Haven't you and your lackey stolen enough already?
What do you mean already? What lackeys? I've no idea. Hey,
Put that carcass down and get over here. You hear me?
What's going on, Ignatius?
Ah, I'm trying to explain to these fellas we've got nothing to do with no thieving around here. They should go to Lower Samine to complain.
2 stinking pieces of shit was sneaking around our sties and cellars and lining their purses with silver too while they was at it. Some scruffy and dunger. You must be scruffy, eh?
I'm Henry, and those, names mean nothing to me.
Like I said, if it's rotten carrion they're after, they should have come to me. A passion for knacking is the only thing we have in common.
Is that so? So prove it then.
Take a good look at me. Do I look like a thief? Or more like a commonplace, maybe just slightly grubby, hired hand? At this rate, you could blame any old peasant who's grimy after a hard day's work.
I don't know. I don't reckon I've ever seen a real thief up close.
Ask around about me and you'll find out everyone knows I can't stand a liar. I'll keep my promises and show up on time. So enough talk, and let's carry on to where duty calls us.
All right, listen. We'll be going then. But if you happen to run into them 2 thieves, you tell us right away, got it?
Of course.
You can count on it.
Glad to hear it. Let's go, fellas. Maybe...
Not much left for us to do here, eh?
Hopefully our luck will hold out, and we'll only be breaking the limbs of carcasses today. The next farm's just up ahead. Hop on, and let's go. Don't worry. That was just a kind of little favour for me. Now we'll help the locals here in Jdar with their carcasses.
So far, I've just carried sacks. I already did that for the miller.
Yesterday, the good wife from that farm came and told me both their pigs died. So we'll scoop 'em up and haul 'em off. I mean you'll scoop them up and haul them to my cart. She says it was a curse. There was a flash of lightning, the pigs started trembling, squealing and puking, and then keeled over and dropped dead.
All right, that's what you get. People sin here in their seclusion, thinking they're out of sight of our Lord.
It ain't my first day doing this job, so I could see right off them pigs had been poisoned. The good wife swore them pigs were happy as, well, pigs in shit. She said they even let them go to a nearby stream to have a wallow. It flows here through the forest on the right. Since we're here, you ought to go and take a look around there. Check how clear that spring really is.
All right, I'll see what's going on there.
And I'm going to enjoy having a helper. At least for one day. Maybe I'll roll around in the grass here with Snorter and Dragonfly. Yeah! Yeah!
You're always welcome here, noble.
Ugh, Jesus, this is disgusting.
God don't reward me much, but I'll probably get something from the bailiff for hauling.
Well, I wish you and your helper lots of luck today. May God bless you.
You too. You too.
I'd rather go back to sacks of flour. Those pigs came here to drink. Where to now? I can smell something upstream.
Good dog, Matt. Show me.
Here!
Truck!
It really wasn't a curse. There are rotting carcasses in the water upstream from the watering spot. No wonder the pigs caught some disease.
Well, what do you know? I was right. I'll give you a hand. It'd take you all night on your own.
More money out the window.
So, what do you think, Dragonfly? How's he doing? What now?
My respects. Christ, pardon me.
I took care of the carcasses. We can drive on.
Nice work. There's even a bit of meat left for me.
Yeah, you'd eat that. They've been lying there God knows how long.
But nicely in the cold. There's nothing wrong with it. Anyway, you won't be eating it, so don't worry about it. Let's keep going. Seeing as how you don't obey me, you're surely horsing around today. So far it ain't that bad, eh? You don't have to take down no hanged man or bury an unbaptized child.
Well, ever since I started working for the miller, all I did was carry sacks. The sack makers here in the region must live like kings. Of course it could be a lot worse.
I like having to carry sacks full of thistles. Now listen to me closely. You won't be carrying anything at the next farmstead. Instead, you'll have to make one carcass there. See, the work of a knacker ain't just about clearing away dead animals. Now and then you've got to put down some creature, so it don't suffer. Or, like today, to put it down so everyone around it don't have to suffer. In this case, we're talking about a dog.
Well, what can I do? But I doubt I'll feel good about it.
That cur belongs to the greengrocer, Vizar. I've heard they're both pretty fierce. Don't draw too much attention to yourself at the farmstead. I'll give you some Aesop potion to drink first, and some meat and bane. Soak the meat with the poison and throw it to the dog. He'll probably be locked in a pen somewhere. As soon as it's done, we'll disappear before anyone notices anything. I got paid well for it from the neighbors, so don't fuck it up for me. Lazy bones.
What's it? What are you doing with him? Hmm?
Yeah! Yeah!
What are you doing? What are you doing? What are you doing, boy?
Lazy bones.
May God give you health, sir.
Oh, Sakra. Dog isn't here. The door's open. Where did he run off to? Barking. He's coming from over there.
Where'd you come from?
Bonnie? What are you doing here?
What are you doing here?
The gravedigger wants me to poison that dog.
Jesus! And are you going to do it?
Well, what else can I do? You're the one who sent me to Ignatius. You just tactfully neglected to mention that when you and Zinnek were acting as his hands, you robbed half the houses in the county.
Shit. It's all gone sour.
This is all I have left to do before he takes me to the saltpeter pit.
And couldn't you find the pit without that? Just take a look at that poor creature. I'd like to keep him in place of my poor dead sniffer.
You surely know how to pick him. Your poor creature is terrorizing the whole area.
It's not the animal's fault. When Zinnek and I were here last, I saw how old Vysarik treats him. He doesn't give him food, he abuses him. With a master like that, he won't last long. You wouldn't kill a dumb creature just because its master is a sick horseman, would you?
Well, you don't have to convince me. Ever since the gravedigger told me to do it, I've been trying to figure out how to save that dog. If you want to take him, I won't stop you.
You're a much better Christian than I thought you were. I'll take him to the lair. We'll meet there.
Hurry off now, before someone sees us together.
Come on now, boy. You'll like it in the lair.
It's taken care of.
Taken care of? What do you mean?
I set the dog free. He didn't deserve to die.
For fuck's sake, didn't deserve to die? We were supposed to get rid of him, because that's just what he deserves.
Bonnie from the mill came and took the dog before we got to him.
Well, fuck me. How much more is that girl going to steal before she has enough?
Oh, she'll take better care of him than Baysar did. All he needs is to be fed properly, and he won't be dangerous anymore.
I surely fucking hope not. Because if he runs off and ravages something or someone again, then we didn't help at all. Let's go before we start looking suspicious.
So this is it. This is the pit.
Slowly, boy. Slowly. Have a bit of respect. Death always deserves respect, whether it's people or animals.
So there's hardly 3 heaps here. Is this really it? Are you yanking my pizzle again?
Of course not. True, it used to be one big pit. But then I found out when you pile up carcasses in smaller pits and throw some wet hay between them, it all rots better. And the better it rots, the more nitre you'll have. Are you going to take some right away?
I won't. The miller will probably send some people here.
Well, they'd better not dig it all up. That'd disturb the natural balance, see? And soon they'll find out there's no place to find saltpeter.
Well, I reckon I'm delaying the inevitable. I still have to taste it.
You're going to taste it?
It's the only way I can be certain it really is saltpeter.
God's nails. And they say I'm disgusting. Wait a moment. I've got a reward for you. Just so's you don't think old Ignatius and his even older nags is ungrateful riffraff. Take it as a thanks for your help. Maybe you'll take over my trade one day when I'm pushing up daisies myself.
Who knows? Maybe that'll really be my fate. I'll live at the cemetery, build piles of carcasses, and eat bread with saltpeter.
Here's something that'll definitely come in handy if you ever need to go through all this again. Either with me or somewhere else.
Thanks.
Taste it then. Get to it. This I have got to see. You didn't have to make such a feast of it.
Look at me. I'm a lord's messenger to a taster of cadavers. Cold.
Quick! Ka! Go! Go!
Whoa!
Ja! Ja! Go!
Oh, no. Why?
Ja!
Lovely air.
Whoa!
It happens. Just watch where you're going next time.
Criminal. A miscreant who couldn't keep his hands off other people's locks and purses. Gather round. Take a good look. This scoundrel...
Be careful. God is punishing us for our sins.
God! 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 God!
Quick!
Go!
Quick! Quick!
God! What's going on? What are you doing here?
Friend, welcome. I'm glad you're passing by. At least I won't be celebrating alone. I'm a father. My first son.
Well, congratulations are in order. What's his name?
Oh, Jonty. His name's Jonty.
I wish Jonty the best of health then.
My sentiments exactly. Best of health. You have to drink to him with me. I've got some fine brandy here. Come on. Let's drink to his health.
What kind of brandy is this exactly?
Why, it's the finest I have. My late father gave it to me, saying that when he had a grandson, we drank it together. But he didn't live to see it.
Uh-huh.
It's been buried in the ground for 10 years, waiting for this moment. I'm sure you'll like it.
All right. May he grow strong, and to Jonty's health. Ugh! That was fucking disgusting!
What?
God! God!
Quick! Quick!
God!
Quick!
God! Whoa! Whoa!
You shouldn't have fucked with us, you bastard!
Nice hit!
Where's the gut, you whore son?
Oh, for Christ's sake!
Yeah, don't spare him!
No, you don't!
Oh, you're out of luck!
Good! And it's done!
Someone's lying here. My God! He's dead! I just can't believe...
you pooch.
How awful!
Quick! Quick! Quick!
Greetings, my friend.
I found the place where we can harvest saltpeter. You just head out of Troskovitz towards Apollonia, carry on alongside the road, then head off it at the right spot. Only it's not a pit, it's 3 piles of earth. The gravedigger Ignatius drove me there himself.
And is it the real stuff? Did you taste it?
Yeah. And I hope I never have to do that again. Ugh. I think the experience has changed me forever.
Oh, come on. You whine more than Zinnik. It's just commonplace salt. I was hoping it'd be closer. To go all the way to Apollonia. If I send 2 wagons, that should be enough.
What should I do?
That means I could mix a barrel and a half.
Crazul, focus. What else do you need from me?
Oh, sorry. What were you asking? About a reward? It's right here.
Thanks. How's it going with the golem?
Well, the whole thing is really appealing to a scholar of my field of interest and important for humanity. But certain circumstances have emerged which, unfortunately, move its creation somewhere further into the future.
Wait, what do you mean? So there won't be any golem?
Not for now.
What about all the niter? The life essence?
I admitted to myself it's maybe too much to take on, and I decided to go back to my roots.
So the search for saltpeter was for nothing?
Not at all. The saltpeter will help us create primordial matter. The origin. Chaos. Materia prima.
God. Here we go again.
As alchemical scholars, we actually have only one task before us. To penetrate the diaphanum and find out where it gets its disposition and power from. Only then will we understand the nature of the shadows.
Eh?
I'll explain it to you.
Tell me then. So what's the next task, Crazul?
There's a quiet whisper coming from the open gates of Trotsky, carried by the wind all the way here to me. Do you hear it too?
No. I reckon my ears aren't that good.
Scribe Erzim received a chest from Prague, and in that chest...
Hermes Trismegistos' document?
No, a book. And from an author even more venerable than Hermes. It's thin, with a sand-colored cover, embossed. Ordinary at first glance. But the treasure's inside. You might say it's a kind of alchemist cookbook.
So you're gonna have me go and pick some locks at the castle, eh?
Did I say anything about stealing? No, when the castle was still closed, I planned to get the book through the castle chamberlain, with the help of a certain woman. But now that you have access to Trotsky yourself, it'll be much simpler.
What about that certain woman? What was your plan?
That's old news. The central figure is now the Trotsky scribe, Erzim. He's a great lover of knowledge. I'm sure he'd be happy to indulge another kindred soul and lend him the book, indefinitely and voluntarily.
Let's hope so. I'll pray I'll be able to convince him, and that I won't have to ride around Trotsky picking up carcasses again. Or worse.
Just do your best. The book is the last piece of the puzzle. The very last. But, looking back at your 2 previous tasks, I have no doubt you'll be able to handle the third just as well. Go and see Erzim and ask him about the book. Then, you'll see how difficult it will be to get your hands on it. Best of luck, Henry.
I reckon I'll need it.
Mine.
Go! Go! Whoa!
Go!
Whoa!
Go! Go! Ka! Ka!
Whoa!
Quick! 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 Go! Ka!
Whoa! Whoa!
You won't believe this. The whole village burned to the
Ka!
ground.
Ka!
Hell on earth.
Quick! Ka!
Whoa!
What good's a bow to you, for God's sake? What a waste of money.
Did you hear that the king himself announced?
Hey, fella! Stop
sorry?
off for a bit of chat.
God be with you. I don't have a lot of time, but I'm always up for a game of dice and a flagon of wine.
I hear you. Never any harm in that. Anyway, that's about all we can do right now, bugger it. Nothing for it but to perch here and wait for our tree.
What do you mean for your tree? You're waiting for it to chop itself down?
Actually, I mean, wait until we can get to work on it.
But what's the hold-up with your tree?
In short, we found the perfect oak for a new mill wheel. Only some horsens set up camp beneath it for the night. And now we're waiting for them to haul arse. Bugger it.
What's your actual line of work?
Me and Yera here are axemen. We make our way round the mills fixing their wheels.
Yeah, and spending half the day sitting by the wayside, eh?
Whoa now, laddie. It takes a lot of walking to find the right tree. There's a lot more to it than you think, bugger it.
Why don't you just send those reprobates packing? You've got hands like shovels, and you're scared of a few vagrants?
Vagrants? Hell, man, they're armed to the teeth. They'd kill us, bugger it. And don't stoke my fire, lad, else you'll see what these shovels of mine can do to your face.
Come on, then.
Let's see what you're made of, lad. Corva! I'm wounded!
For the cross!
Take that!
Death!
Thanks. Next time, keep your arms closer to your body. You'll be more agile that way.
All right. I get it. That was a pretty good fight, wasn't it?
Yeah, but once was enough.
Definitely. Safe travels.
Here you go. Take it.
Ka! Ka! Go! Ka! Quick!
Go! Ja! Quick! Whoa! Whoa! Go! Go! Ja! 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 Quick! Ja! Go! Ja! Ja! Go!
Show what you're made of.
I feel quite hungry!
Oh, for fuck's sake!
What do you think you're doing?
Saving your life?
And who asked you to do that? I had them right where I wanted. A little longer and they'd be done for.
Well, you'd be done for. Is that what you call gratitude? Go to hell. Next time I won't bother.
What do you mean, next time? Don't you dare cross my path again. You know what? Piss off before I kick your ass at least.
Ja! Quick! Go! Go! Ja! Quick! Go! Quick!
Ow!
Die! Sharp as a razor.
Now let's try this again. May God give you help. Vagabond.
Get this.
Good doggy. Good boy.
Good day.
And with you.
I'd like to discuss the price.
Very well.
Very well, then.
Great. Happy to be of service. Take care, sir.
Henry, is that you? What the fuck are you doing here?
Me? Just having a walk.
Then go and have a walk somewhere else. Christ, by rights I ought to lock you up in jail again and send for the executioner.
Yeah, I don't much fancy going back there for the third time.
So then, listen, of course I'm much obliged to you. If it wasn't for you, I'd be at the pearly gates. But the smartest thing you can do now is to vanish before someone else notices you.
But first, tell me what's been happening here since the last time.
Ah, nothing much. Sir Otto is in Kuttenberg. Chamberlain was killed here in a gorge. Now Istvan, well, the less said, the better. So for now, I'm in charge here. That is, until his lordship returns. If he returns. Listen, of course I'm much obliged to you. If it wasn't for you, I'd be at the pearly gates. But the smartest thing you can do now is to vanish before someone else notices you.
All right. Take care. Maybe we'll meet again one day.
Perhaps. You never know. Best be off now, though. God bless.
My God. Oh. Nice act.
A word about the price.
Very well. Aye, you'll convince me with that price. Thank you, sir. And come again.
piece of shit.
What can you do, sir? Maybe next time, then.
I'm always glad to see polite people like you. God be with you.
Greetings, Master Guard. I'd like to learn something.
What do you want to know?
Can you tell me what's been happening in the world?
Fine. But it'll take some time.
I heard some interesting books from Prague have arrived at the castle. There's one I'd like to borrow. An alchemist's cookbook. A sand-coloured cover, embossed.
Yes, several rare and astonishing books have arrived from Prague. But why are you interested in an alchemist's cookbook, of all things?
I've heard there are some interesting ideas in it. Every alchemist is in dogged pursuit of wisdom, especially those from Prague.
Perhaps you know more about that book than I do. Well, I'll have to disappoint you. Lord Nickvard Libak helped me sort the new books at the time, and the one you're looking for caught his attention. He left with it before I could even discover what it's about. All I remember is the author's initials, B.B. I'm fairly benevolent when it comes to lending books, and I appreciate Nickvard's help, but he's had it borrowed for an excessive amount of time now. I'd like to ask him to return it, but he's been avoiding me.
Why would Nickvard suddenly be avoiding you?
I have a sneaking suspicion. It seems Nickvard lost the book. I've warned him repeatedly not to carry borrowed books around with him, but to leave them in his chamber and read them there. But Nickvard is old and stubborn, and this is how things turn out.
The price of such a book must be incalculable. People like Nickvard are too dumb to understand.
But I digress. As I said, Nickvard is intentionally avoiding me. But I've made headway. I've managed to find 3 people who've spoken to him recently. Bertha, the cook, Regina, the maid, and Hirsch, the hand.
For a nobleman, Nickvard is quite wary of his own kind, speaking only to servants.
I'm surprised that he's ever spoken to anyone but myself. Nickvard is a loner, which is also why I suspect something bad has happened. Now that he's decided to leave his shell, that is. But I'm afraid that's all I've managed to find out. Since Lord von Berkove's arrival, I've been preoccupied with other matters.
I'll help you. I'll ask all 3 and see if they lead me to Nickvard.
Many thanks. If you aren't sure what to do, stop by and we'll discuss what you found out.
Before I go, can you tell me where I can find those people in the castle?
Who, exactly?
You said Nickvard is avoiding you. Where at the castle does he live? Are there any places he frequents?
Nickvard lives like a hermit here at Trotsky. Like a ghost. His chambers are in the Crone's Tower, but God knows if he's ever slept there. He took his meals down in the Crone's kitchen. Lately, I've often seen him talking to Regina in the Knight's Hall, in the Maiden, or looking out the hall window. I caught sight of him a few times with Hirsch at the transport yard below the castle.
So I just have to hope I run into him somewhere.
Nickvard always just shows up. I've rarely ever found him on my own. I'm not surprised you can't find him anywhere, since I've been trying myself.
Where is Bertha?
Bertha cooks for us in the Crone's kitchen. She's there most days. If you can't find her there, try the first house in the lower castle, across from the door to the dungeon.
Where is Regina?
As Lord von Berkoff's personal maid, she'll likely be somewhere in the Maiden's Palace, perhaps in the Knight's Hall, or on the floor above it, near the Lord's chambers. She even sleeps there.
Where is Hirsch, the stable boy?
I've seen him with Hirsch at the transport yard below the castle. He sleeps in the house directly across from it. I don't know him much, though.
That's everything I needed to know.
God be with you, sir.
Bertha, instead of devils, I need your help now with Nickvard. The scribe told me you might know something about him.
Well, I'm waiting for Lord Libac to stop by. I brewed him another phial of medicine, but I don't even know if the last one helped. I told him to stop by for another one soon. I reckon he must be feeling better.
Nickvard needed medicine? For what?
I can't say. I promised Lord Libac his secret is safe with me, as well as his phial of medicine.
Oh, come now. Nickvard misplaced an important book somewhere. A sort of alchemist cookbook. I need to find it.
I remember the recipes by heart. And Lord Libac's secret is certainly worth more than any book.
Listen, Bertha. Do you realise your stubbornness is making everything more difficult? Nickvard borrows a mysterious book, suddenly he stops talking to the scribe, and falls ill. And when the only person who wants to get to the bottom of it comes to you, you keep mum. You don't want to have Nickvard on your conscience, do you?
I suppose you're right. I reckon Lord Libac would forgive me if he knew I was only trying to help him, right?
I'm sure he would.
Well, it's a common potion for a bellyache. Just better tasting. It helps your meals go down easier and come out slower the other end. In that regard, Lord Libac had, well, how to say it? Everything came out much too quickly.
Just say it. He shot himself.
It was in the privy down below the Crone. By the training ground, below the guardhouse. I helped him clean his hose and made him the medicine, and I promised that I wouldn't say anything. Lord Libac is quite particular about the impression he makes on the young maids, you know. He didn't want this little episode to put them off. That's why he didn't use the privy near the maids' quarters, though it's closer to his chamber, but to the arena instead, and only when there weren't any soldiers around. But this time, it caught up with him.
Is that all?
What else is there to say? That the entire time he looked as if he'd done the worst thing in the world. It happens to the best of us, and I told him as much then. I'm just surprised he never came back for another file, I must say. He did look as if the fate of the entire castle was suddenly on his shoulders.
I don't know if this is going to do me any good.
Well, you could have found a worse clue.
Thanks anyway.
day to you.
Do you know where I can find Nickvard? The scribe said you might know.
Erazim is suddenly interested in Nickvard and me. You don't say. But when I need him to read something for me, he never has the time. I'm sorry.
I was asking about Nickvard.
Aye, I heard you. Say, can you read?
I can.
In that case, would you mind reading this message I have from Nickvard?
Show me. Dear Mistress of the Chambers. What is it?
Oh, what I wouldn't give to get messages from someone else. Say, Lord Capon. Never mind. Read on. Though I reckon it interests you more than me.
Persevere. We shall soon escape the dungeon of those two women. Cursed fate, however, has placed an obstacle in my way. The heat of the Lightbringer's potion is working, and I can feel my insides being reborn. But when the last remnants of old age left my body, something else was washed away with them.
How much longer is it?
Not much. My damn clumsiness has sent all of the Lightbringer's secrets into the void, but fear not, I shall get them back. May this be the first task on the road to your liberation. That's it.
Beautiful.
True enough. Nickvard has a flair for the dramatic.
My, that's Liebach for you.
But what does it mean? Can you explain any of it to me?
Lord Liebach has taken a liking to me. I suggested to him it wasn't proper for a noble to have an affair with a maid. But he thought I meant he was too old for me. But then he found what he calls the Lightbringer's potion book. He said it would light a flame in him that would burn out all that's old. So I suppose it worked. Hooray!
I know the book he's talking about, but what does he mean, into the void?
Look, can we stop talking about this? I feel a little uncomfortable here, talking about some old lovelorn nobleman.
I need help. You can give it some thought, can't you?
No! And now leave me alone.
You're not permitted to be here.
Surrender at once.
I apologize.
Lord be with you.
I'm looking for Nickvard. The scribe told me you might know something about him.
Hey, Nick. I mean, Lord Libak. I almost forgot about him. I suppose his task wasn't so pressing, hmm?
What task?
Nick Libak, that is, entrusted me with a big task quite a while back. He's a castle lord. Obviously, I had to obey him. But then I heard what another castle lord was planning, von Berghoff, and I had to obey him even more. He says there's a war on. So here I am, ready to go off to battle.
I need to know more about what Nickvard asked you to do.
No. There are new rules now. You have to prove you're not a spy.
I understand, sure. Just tell me what you want, and let's not delay.
A sword.
Sword? Hmm? What sword?
A long and very good one to help me deal with other spies. If you bring it to me, I'll know you're not an enemy spy who should fear me. Forge one, buy one, or even steal one for me. Maybe from one of the guards at the training ground or down by the gate. During the day, they're not in the towers anyway.
Steal a sword? That sounds like something a spy would do.
Not a spy who wants to help von Berghoff's most loyal servant. By servant, I mean me. See, once I get a sword, I'll fill you in on Nickvard's task.
You wanted a sword? So look at what I got for you.
That's perfect. Lovely. I don't think you're a spy. Can't say for sure, but you seem all right.
What about Nickvard, then?
Nickvard asked me to do something for him. He must have admired my devotion to Lord von Berghoff. Either way, Nick looked troubled and not very healthy. He wanted me to fetch him something he lost outside the castle, and I told him I would. At least I could check to see if anyone was sneaking around about the castle. But then Nickvard clutched his belly and ran off. So I never found out what he wanted, or from where.
That's all?
Aye. If you run into Nickvard, ask him if he still needs it or whether he found it himself. I'll be going into war soon, so I don't have time for these things, see?
I'll tell him.
May God give you health, sir.
Greetings. About that lost alchemy book.
Please tell me you found it.
Not yet, but I searched for Nickvard, and I have some clues.
Tell me what you've learnt, then.
It looks like Nickvard brewed some sort of potion from the book. He told Regina it would restore his youth, but the potion didn't sit well with him. He must have spent a lot of time on the privy at the training grounds below the Crone. Bertha brewed a digestive potion for him, but it didn't work. When he wasn't shitting or writing notes to servants, he asked Hirsch to bring him something from beyond the castle walls. He lost something there, and then he vanished without a trace.
What do you think about it?
The three of them conspired to get rid of Nickvard.
Well, you've forgotten about me, because I must surely be in on it too. Nonsense! I kept telling Nickvard, don't carry books around, you'll lose them. And what does he do? He loses it. It sounds like it happened in the privy by the guardhouse. At least it fell on something soft. Please look outside the castle under the guardhouse and bring the book and Nickvard back to me.
Here, Mutt.
May God give you health, sir.
You must be Nickvard, eh? Poor wretch.
Tan colour cover, embossed. That'll be the book Crazel wants. It looks quite ordinary, apart from being covered in shit.
Quick! God! God! Quick! Die! Die! Quick! 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 God! Go! Quick! 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 Die! 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 Go!
Hey, good people! Now you'll learn that the church is rotten.
Die! Go! Quick!
Whoa there. Don't worry. We'll stay by the shore.
God!
Quick! Quick!
You're all...
I'd like to learn something.
And what would you like?
I'd like to learn more about medicinal herbs.
Great. Let's get to it. Learning this trick will take some time.
I'd like to learn
And what?
the mysteries of...
Great.
My respects.
I'd like to learn something.
What would you like to know?
I'd like to get faster at shooting.
All right, I'll show you something, but you need time for it.
I'd like to learn something.
And what would you like?
Being quick and sneaky at the same time still gives me trouble.
All right, but it'll take some time. Thank you. Yeah, yeah. Greetings.
Christ, pardon me.
Go! Quick! Gah! Go! Go! Quick! Easy, easy. Nice and slow. Whoa, whoa. Good. Whoa. Ka! 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 Go! Whoa!
Ah! Show your stuff! What do you want?
Look! I'm gonna get out of here! Look! I'm gonna get out of here! I'm not gonna die here!
Sick!
Greetings, my friend.
I have the book for you.
Well, I must admit, I haven't had an apprentice this handy in a long time. Zinnik has nothing on you.
I had a peek inside. The pictures are nice, but what do you want to learn from them?
You'll find out soon enough. Show me that miraculous thing. This really is something. But why is it all covered in shit, for fuck's sake?
But the essence of life from the skies didn't bother you, and now you're squeamish.
Oh, refining saltpeter. Boil wine and alum. Grind. Ah, of course, it makes sense. I'll study the rest on the way. Well, the last chapter of our story of knowledge awaits us. The grand finale.
So what now? Do you have another job for me?
Charcoal. Sulfur from Hermes Trismegistus. Saltpeter from the carcass pit. As long as Black Bertolt didn't make any mistakes in his calculations, we have everything.
What Bertolt? Oh, God damn it, Kraser, what's going on here? I'm tired of flying back and forth like a rag on a stick. I won't be led around by the nose. Will you finally tell me what's going on?
Believe it or not, all this secrecy had its reasons. But now I don't have to hide anything from you. It's time. We'll meet with the others in the lair, and there you'll learn the whole truth. You go ahead. I'm going to get a few things ready here.
All right, then. I hope you keep your word this time.
Good day to you.
Whoa, whoa!
Die! Ka! Quick!
Whoa! What'll happen now?
Our last supper, with only one but very filling course, awaits us.
Krazel, please. For once, just once, tell me what's actually going on.
And rob myself of enjoying your blissful ignorance? Not a chance. Tell me yourself, what do you think is going to happen?
Well, hopefully I'll finally find out what the point of all this was.
Or not, until you try another dose of niter.
I wouldn't do that to him. Not today. Bonnie will start today. At least I'll finally see if she understood my teachings. Bonnie?
First of all, I'd like to thank you on behalf of the whole gang for all the work you've done. We could never have finished the job without you. We found 2 new partners, you and Monarch here. It's good to have someone to rely on. So, it's time we started being honest with you, so you can finally learn the whole truth.
Not yet. Let's pull up that uppity bastard's leg a bit longer. That's the fun part.
Never mind him. Speak.
All right, then. This whole time, you've been collecting ingredients and clues for us. But, so you wouldn't go nosing around, we always told you it was for something different than it actually was.
The miller here calls it tackets.
Tactics, you idiot. And everything worked out according to plan. So today we're finally close to our great success. With the help of Hermes Trismegistus and his successors, we'll finally complete the dream of all alchemists. Our magnum opus.
Exactly, Bonnie.
Magnum opus. A great work of alchemy. You're trying to make the Philosopher's Stone.
I see you've learned something after all. But no, The Philosopher's Stone isn't our goal.
Let's see then, Henry. What is it you think we're making here?
You're trying to find a cure for death? An elixir of immortality?
Well, Henry's not too far from the truth, after all. Don't you think? Immortality is the goal of every scholar. At least the spiritual kind. Let's start at the beginning. My father was a miller as well, but I was never much interested in the trade. Even as a young boy, I loved running around Lower Samine and investigating everything living and dead. And I had a lot of questions about everything. And my mother, God rest her soul, decided it'd be best for me to go to study in Prague. As soon as I grew up and gained a bit of sense, I packed my bags and left.
What did your father have to say about it?
He wasn't too happy about it, that's for sure. But Mother kept pestering him until he yielded. I met a lot of remarkable people at the university, and my thirst for knowledge kept growing. But in the end, it only took a year of all that pretentious, scholarly blathering and hypocritical nonsense for me to realize I wouldn't learn anything proper there. Most of the students and masters are just a bunch of dogmatic fools. They have their own truth, and those who want to know more or ask the wrong questions fall into disfavor, as was my case.
And what about your thirst for knowledge?
I realized I didn't need the university for things that are truly important. The most important science is not subject to any religious dogma. And, of course, it's not taught at any university.
You mean alchemy?
Exactly. The art of combination and dissolution. The key to understanding the very nature of the world. There's only one queen of science. Alchemy. I returned to the mill in Lower Samine and started a new life.
What did your parents say when you returned from your studies?
My mother had already passed away. All my father said was, "I knew you'd be back." And he sent me to haul sacks of flour. I think in the end he was glad to have someone to take over the mill from him. From then on, alchemy became my true passion. I brought a few important books from Prague. I started with the most difficult thing. I tried to create gold.
That was pretty daring of you.
As you might expect, it didn't work. But after a few tries, I managed to create something entirely different. Once I tried mixing sulfur, charcoal, and saltpeter. I had a candle burning next to me. A gust of wind scattered the mixture, and all of a sudden, bang! I almost shit myself, I tell you. But then I realized I'd unwittingly created a miracle. Explosive black powder.
I knew it was something like that. I've seen that kind of thing before.
And you didn't say anything. Well, you're in on it with us now.
I couldn't continue my experiments on my own, but Bonnie and Zinnig did a few little jobs for me.
So he initiated us.
But we just still didn't know how to do it right and not blow ourselves up in the process.
And we used up a huge amount of saltpeter and sulfur.
By the way, the manuscript from that Hermes Trismegistos was our shopping list and price list for material from Kuttenberg.
Only we didn't know correct proportions. I looked up a few of my former fellow students and brought it up with them. And we found out that before us, some monk had already made the discovery.
Some fella called Black Bertold. And that he even started writing a book called
Feuerwerkbuch.
We can believe our luck when we found out there's a copy of it right here at Trotsky.
And you know the rest.
It's a discovery that will change history. In the right hands, it can make miracles happen. All it takes is a spark, and a storm of fire will sweep away the old world order. It will wipe out stupidity and ignorance, once and for all.
And what will happen now?
As I said, we're about to have our last supper on our journey to satisfy our hunger for knowledge. A feast of smoke and fire. Black Bertold never finished his book, because he never had enough ingredients for his last great experiment. But now, thanks to you, we do. We can finally finish Bertold's work and finish his book. We'll see with our own eyes what a barrel of black powder can do. I hope you're as excited as I am.
I've heard enough. Now I want to see that with my own eyes.
Let's do it then. Bonnie, is everything ready?
Indeed, it is. We can get started. Long live the beautiful new world.
Looks like it ain't working.
I'd say it works just fine.
This will change history.
What? I can't hear a thing. But I'd say it works just fine.
Crazel?
Fuse didn't catch immediately.
I told you there's no need to dip it in resin and wax. Better to use rushes, boiled in water.
You really led me on about the gunpowder magazine, didn't you? A golem made of dough, souls inside saltpeter, the secrets of light and shadow. That was all just empty talk, wasn't it?
Not exactly. It's all based on the real philosophy of the Jewish Kabbalah. I studied the writings of Bonaventura and Dietrich von Freiberg, but it was never in my interest to put their theories into practice. But they work brilliantly as a cover-up, don't you think?
I really thought you'd have a golem made from dough walking around the mill, or that I could become invisible.
Ah, but black powder is no less a miraculous creation.
So for the last time, Crazel, what now?
I'll do what I promised, and what will most likely be my fate. I'm going to gather together all the knowledge I've acquired and finish Black Berthold's book. I'll finish his opus.
Uh-huh. And what about me?
That's up to you, Henry. You're a free man. Lord Sameen has no hold over you, and never did. You know, the inevitability of God's plan takes no interest in people like you and me. We'll always be little people, beneath it all.
That sounds somehow hopeful in a peculiar way, I'd say. Now I'm even happier about the great thing we've accomplished here.
The ideal conclusion, I'd say. Maybe it's time to carry sacks at a different mill. But if you're still interested in learning a bit more, drawing from the well of alchemical knowledge...
I know where to find you.
Indeed.
You seem like a reasonably educated man, Crazel.
Where are you going with this?
Well, I reckon you know some interesting and useful things. If you share them with me, it'll make it easier to endure all that bullshit you spew.
I'm glad you know what you're getting yourself into. Are you interested in the theory of light, kinetics, or vacuums?
That's a bit too fast for me. What I need is the basics.
I have no time for the basics.
Well, I'll be happy to give you some groschen for your troubles.
All right. But don't forget, this will take some time. For a few groschen, I'll teach you whatever you want.
For instance, I'd like to know how to pry open a lock properly. Or how to go through someone's purse without being noticed.
I see. I see. The combination of restraint and the mechanics of general acquisition of property. That seems doable. Let's get to work.
What's new around here?
Nothing much, lad. At least I haven't heard about anything.
We've been through a lot together. Will you finally tell me more about yourself?
Have you not grown tired of all this constant questioning? I've told you plenty already. And if I left something out, it was for a good reason.
Well, I know about the university, the alchemy, your desire to change the world. But I don't know anything about you as a person.
That's a question I'd like to know the answer to myself. To find yourself, and who you really are. Isn't that the only true meaning of life?
Here you go. Take it.
Greetings to you.
You silly doggy.
I went past your garden the other day, and that dog of yours was going mad. Barking and growling at me like...
Gah! Quick! Gah! 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 Quick! Go! Gah! Quick! Go! Go! Gah! Quick! Ka! Ka!
Whoa! My humble respects.
I need to get to the Kuttenberg region.
Then get ready to spend a few days in the carriage, mate. 'Cause of those bloody bandits, we got to take all sorts of detours and stay off the main roads. But if you got the time and the coin...
Here you go.
All right, give me a mo. I'll get the carriage and horses ready. Good. All done. The carriage is ready.
Let's get going. Quick! Go! Go! Go!
How was your trip? The journey itself was great. No delays, nice weather. I've got to say,
Tell me then, what did he give you
what I have for you.
Sure. I tell you, and you dob me in.
are you crazy? Why would I dob you in?
Look, just drop it, will you? Gossiping about it won't do anyone any good.
You think I'll blurt it out in the first...
Hey, you're not allowed here. correct, you nightcrawler.